before you started the video, you should have had your table completely filled out with all the work to show me that you did this yourself. And then now, once you've got your table, hopefully you're noticing that the slope and the m are always the exact same thing. Remember, m is whatever value is with the x. It's called the x's coefficient. So the m represents the slope of the line. You should also be noticing that your y-intercept, even though it always has that 0, whatever the y value is, this y value, that matches up with the b. So we've got b, we've got 3, 3, again 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3. This -3, I want you to notice real carefully, it's -3 here. Remember, the other way of writing that, I could have written y equals -1/4 x plus -3. So yes, it is the exact same thing. We've got a -3 right here with a plus in front of it, plus b plus -3. It's exactly what we expect, but they shortened it. They took the plus minus and they wrote -1/4 x minus 3. So there's nothing different there. So to summarize that one, the slope, the b variable is not the slope, but it's the y-intercept. The x-intercept is not in our table anywhere, and that's okay. The x-intercept has nothing to do with this form. Now make sure you go back to the very front of your notes, and where the title is left blank, the title of this form, as you can probably guess, is called slope-intercept. This is slope-intercept form. Anytime an equation is written in y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. This big formula here. That is a very important formula that you need to know, and you need to remember that m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Just because it's called slope-intercept, they're shortening it, but they're always talking about the y-intercept. What we're going to do with this is graph, just like we did yesterday. You're now given, from a formula, a point, and you're given a slope. It's going to be much easier for you to start graphing. So let's do that. Just from looking at this form, we can see that -3 is the x's coefficient. And we know when we have y equals mx plus b, that m value is our slope. So I'm going to put the slope is -3. So I have that written off to the side. I can't forget it. I'm going to do something very similar for my b. It's a +4, so my plus b, my y-intercept has to be 4. So if my y-intercept value is 4, I can write the point over 0 up 4. Well, now it's exactly like we did yesterday. We're graphing our point and creating our line from our slope. My point 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 goes right here. And then my slope tells me that really I want to go down 3 over 1. I've got rise over run. So my rise is -3, down 1, down 2, down 3 over 1. That's where my dot's going. For the next one, I've got down 1, down 2, down 3 over 1. And I'm going to finish out the pattern. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay? Now, for going back up in the other direction, I've got -3 over 1, which could also be +3 over -1, which means up 3 and back 1. So I'm going to go from where I started, up 1, up 2, up 3, back 1. Up 1, up 2, up 3, back 1. And the final step, you already remember, you're just, oh, that won't let me draw a line. You're just taking your line tool. Okay, I can't draw a line, so pretend I'm using a ruler. And you're drawing your line and adding arrows so you know it goes on forever. This next one is very similar. We've got, again, y equals mx plus b. So for our m, we've got 5. Our slope is 5, or 5 over 1, if we want to already have that ready for rise over run. Our b is a little different. they've got minus 3, we want plus b. All that minus 3 is plus negative 3, so our b is negative 3. Our y-intercept value is negative 3, and our point is 0, negative 3. From here, we're just graphing. Start from the origin, down 1, 2, 3. That's over 0, down 3. And now my slope, up 5 over 1. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1. And then if I can go from where I started, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back 1. I've covered the length of my graph. I'm going to try my line tool again. I don't know nope, something's wrong with it. So we're going to draw that line. Again, mine's not very straight. You would use a ruler because you're not on a smartboard. This third example is very similar. The only difference is that, as you can see, it's not written in y equals mx plus b form. Y isn't by itself, and then we don't have mx or x in a number, and we don't have b. So what we've got to do is solve for y. You should all know how to do that, so please pause the video and try it yourself. Okay, now that you've tried it, the answer is you should have done minus 10x minus 10x. This cancels. Negative 4y equals 8 minus 10x. Now the very last step is all I need to do is get y by itself. They're multiplying, not adding or subtracting. So I'm dividing out negative 4, not negative 4y, just negative 4. Dividing out negative 4, dividing out negative 4. So I've got y equals 8 divided by negative 4 reduces to negative 2. Negative 10 divided by negative 4. Two negatives make that positive. 10 over 4, when I divide both sides by 2, reduces to 5 over 2. So I'm going to write plus 5 over 2x. Now it's pretty close to y equals mx plus b, and you could probably figure it out. But just to get it in the right format, we're going to take that negative 2 and that positive 5x over 5 over 2x and flip them. Y equals 5 over 2x minus 2. Okay, now as you can see, 5 halves is x's coefficient, so that must be our slope. Negative 2 is our y value, and again it's 5 halves x plus negative 2. So our y-intercept is negative 2, and our y-intercept point would be 0, negative 2. Please remember that whenever you have slope-intercept form, it is the y-intercept that we are solving for, not x. So my point, 0, negative 2, I start in the middle, over 0, down 1, down 2, and my slope, 5 halves, tells me I go from here up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2. Now from, again, where I started, going in the opposite direction, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back 2. I want you to notice all these little tiny dots I drew. Depending on how big or small your screen is, you might be able to see them. Yours should not have those. That's just me showing you what I'm doing by tapping there. Yours should just have the line and these big dots. So you should have a dot here, dot here, dot here, and a dot here that your line goes through. These little tiny points right here, 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 and here that I was using to count are not part of the graph, and I should not see those. If you're drawing them, you need to erase them when you finish. All right, so there's my graph. I drew a line, I drew the arrows. Now you have 6 examples. None of them are in slope-intercept form, so you need to get them there, remembering that that's y equals mx plus b. Once you have them there, I want you to tell me specifically the slope, and I want you to tell me the y-intercept. Okay, once you've got all of that worked out, I need you to graph the function. This step 1 of solving it and step 2 of labeling are just tools you're using to help you graph the function. This is the ultimate goal, but I still need to see these steps along the way to make sure you know what you're doing. You got 6 questions and you don't have them written anywhere, so just pause the video and leave it up while you copy them down. Good luck.